All right. DeAndre Hopkins is heading to the Kansas City Chiefs for a fifth-round pick that can turn into a fourth-round pick. Man, this is big news for the Chiefs. Although we all probably wish it was about 6 years ago, DeAndre Hopkins, but this is such a major move for the Chiefs. They're literally running with like the fourth string at this point, and somehow Patrick Mahomes is still making it work. And Andy Reid now gets a bona fide. I would say at this point in his career is probably a number two, but he's still can give you number one potential out there. G-Mike, man, what's your thoughts on this trade, dude? I like it a lot for Kansas City.
I love it. I love this trade for Kansas City. They lost their wide receiver 1, lost their wide receiver 2. They lost everybody on their wide receiver squad except for Travis Kelce and Worthy, the rookie out there. But, dude, if, DeAndre Hopkins was trying to go there 2 years ago before he went to the Arizona Cardinals and then he went to the Tennessee Titans. I thought he should have been with Mahomes 2 years back and, a little better in his prime. He would have been out there running routes, catching balls and all that good stuff, getting touchdowns. But now he gets to do it with Mahomes now. They're still undefeated right now, the only undefeated team in the league right now. And Mahomes is not playing at his best yet. When it comes to December, he starts turning it up. So, hey, December's right around the corner, man. A few weeks, and we're right there. So playoff football is around the corner. Super Bowl bound is around the corner. So DeAndre Hopkins is going to a good team right now. He's going to get a lot more targets, and he's going to get a chance to prove that he's a top 25 receiver in this league.
Isn't it quite amazing you could actually say that December is right around the corner? Just on a complete side note, I cannot believe it, man. Someone just told me the other day, like, something about November. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's weeks away. And they're like, no, it's not, but yeah. Anyways, BC, man, this is huge moves right here, man. There's fantasy implications. There's NFL implications with this one, man. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I will stick more towards the NFL side of it. I'm going to let you and G-Mike handle more of the fantasy aspects of it. That's more y'all's speed. But no, like I think for Kansas City, it's a great move. Again, you get a guy who is arguably, I wouldn't even say arguably, I think he is top 25 receiver in the league. So even at his age, the production has slipped off for sure. But still, you put him in this offense with this quarterback. Yes, the team has struggled a little bit, again, with injuries. Honestly, the defense has had to carry much of the load this season. But again, you give him, though, you put D-Hop in that system with arguably the greatest tight end of all time. We can debate that one another day. But then also, too, you get the greatest quarterback in the game today. It's a great fit for him. I would have loved to have seen him in his prime, too. But I think even then, a couple years past his prime, D-Hop is still a dangerous player, dangerous weapon to have. And you pair his sure hands with Xavier Worthy's speed. I think that's just a fantastic combo to have there. And he doesn't need to have the burners anymore at this point in his career. He just needs to be that reliable target you can go to on third down. You throw it up there. He's still got the leaping ability. He's going to be able to go up and grab it. And that's all you need from him. You got him. You got Kelce that kind of fit that same role there. And then again, you have Worthy that can take the top off on the offense. It's a great move by Kansas City. I'm envious. Obviously down here in Tampa Bay, which we'll talk about later on, but it's a great move for them. It's a great move for Mahomes. It gives him a bona fide number 2, and it definitely will help shore up that wide receiver depth for sure.
Yeah, and I think an underrated part of it as well is Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid has just been so consistently coming up with great plays and just being last weekend. Literally, the people that are throwing out there, you could not name it. Even their parents would be like, "Oh, my son's playing." Like there's nobody.
I was out there. You guys didn't even notice.
He's making it work every single time, man. And I really think that he's going up and up and up in the pecking order of getting up there in that greatest coaches talk. If he wasn't already in that discussion, because I swear, man, the guy just comes up with game plan after game plan.
Yep.
I mean, they lose Eric Bieniemy. Maybe that was supposed to be like the big thing. Maybe they was like coming to. Didn't even miss a step, So, I really think Andy Reid is absolutely amazing and has to be probably up for Coach of the Year, in my opinion, as all the injuries they've lost in that one.
For sure. And I mean, if they're able to win the Super Bowl again this year, they three-peat, honestly, it would be pretty difficult. Like you'd have, it's basically him and Belichick at that point for greatest coach of all time.
And Belichick didn't even get it done either, so it's never happened.
So that's the one thing. It's like, do you take the guy that did the three-peat or you got to take the guy with the most rings? It's a great discussion. And again, let's not forget like a decade ago, Andy Reid was looking like he was on his way out. Like this whole dynasty that happened, people thought that he was just a perennial choker, couldn't get it done with the Eagles, was a constant failure, wasn't getting it done with the Chiefs at first. But now it's crazy what 4 or 5 years really makes a difference in a coach's in anyone's legacy in the NFL. So like you saying, hats off to Andy Reid, like fantastic job managing this ship. And if they somehow finish this season, I don't want to jinx them, but their record right now starts with a U. You know, it's something like that. Undefeated. Oh man, I spoiled it. But if they're able to keep that up, and on top of that three-peat, I think at that point you got to give it to them. That'd be crazy. I know we're just starting, but that's just a little bit of fantasy. But that's why I don't do fantasy as much.
And come to think that a lot of people were giving crap to Andy Reid for letting Alex Smith go
Yeah.
and putting in Mahomes at
Yeah.
the end of the what was it 2015 season.
Yeah, and he put it
I
at
think
the
it was
very
like
last game,
16
right?
or
Like
17.
two
Yeah.
last games. He started him the two
Yep.
last games, and he did pretty decent. And people were like,
Yep.
"Okay, cool. This kid is cool and young and whatever. And he's gonna be a good backup for Alex Smith." Next thing you know,
Yep.
offseason comes around, they trade Alex Smith, and people are like, "What? What is Andy Reid doing? Has he lost his mind?" Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Look at him now. Look at him now.
Yep.
Yeah, and in the behind the scenes too, he always wanted Mahomes. Like,
Yeah.
if you go back in the day, he was one of the few people. If you remember back in that draft, Mahomes was, oh yeah, the guy's gonna be pretty good. He has a big arm, but that's about it. You know, and so it's just kind of cool to look back on it. But shout out to Andy Reid, man. He's become quite the coach, and he's never really not been a good guy. You know.
Yeah, such a great guy. I will forever love his just laid back demeanor and the fact that he makes eating cheeseburgers so
There you go.
delightful.
Yeah.